Hi everyone, my name is Lune. I am starting this channel because I have struggled with skin conditions all my life, and I want to share with you my secrets and tips and tricks when it comes to wellness and health and skincare, in the hopes that it will help you as well. I hope you will like it. If you do, please follow this channel and like and subscribe, all of that. I'm new here, so thank you for your support. I am also a certified skincare formulator and launched my own brand last year called Monday Muse. And I think it will be fun to share some behind the scenes and kind of what it all takes to launch your own skincare line. But today I really want to talk to you about my skin journey. This is where my passion for skincare and health really came from. Like I said, struggled with skin conditions throughout my life, and I will share with you today the tips that really helped me clear up my acne. I have had a long history with this, which I will go into in a second. But before I do, I want to make a quick disclaimer and tell you that I'm not a doctor. This is just my opinion, and please do your own research and decide what's best for you. Also, this is one of my cats, Tiger. I didn't realize he just sat with us, but I have two cats and they might be popping in the screen in and out. That's just what it is. So before I give you my tips, I am going to share with you my skin journey, because I think it's important to understand what kind of acne I was dealing with, when, how, what, where, all that gist. So this skin journey really goes back to when I was a child. As a child, I remember spending a lot of time at the dermatologist office. I was always in and out with things like eczema and strange rashes, so I've been dealing with this for a long time. Now, when I was a teenager, I developed acne because of the hormonal changes. It's quite common for teens to deal with pimples and breakouts. So I was quite accepting of the fact that I was dealing with skin conditions. When I turned 18, my skin was very clear. I never looked at products or ingredients. All was good until I turned 21. When I turned 21, around that time, my acne came back with a vengeance. And I did not understand, because I thought I'd left that behind me and I had clear skin for life, because I think what we're used to seeing, in mainstream media and on social media a lot, that we're supposed to have like clear skin and pimples are just for teenagers, and that's actually not the case at all. There's lots of research that shows that many of us deal with skin conditions or a form of acne, whatever it is, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and it's totally normal. But at that time, I was devastated. I will insert some pictures to show you kind of the state of my skin. And I went through a lot of trial and error, and that's why I'm making this video, because I really want you to avoid the mistakes that I made, because it really took years and years before I actually was able to clear up my skin. First thing I did when I realized, this condition was getting out of hand, so to speak, I went to see my dermatologist. My dermatologist that I visited diagnosed me with acne, mild rosacea. I'd also been diagnosed prior to that with a sensitivity to fragrance. He put me on several different protocols. So it started off with creams, like different, and increasingly it got more, let's say, hardcore. So it went from creams to prescription medication, antibiotics, which temporarily helped, but I felt like it never cleared up the root cause of it. After, I want to say like a year trying different things, my dermatologist said, you need to go on Accutane. We don't know what to do anymore, and it's still pretty severe. Accutane is a pretty strong medication. You, for example, need to be on birth control, because if you to get pregnant, your baby has a high chance of having birth defects. It's quite intense, and for some reason it really didn't feel like the right option for me. I don't judge anyone who does. You know, you have to do what's best for you. But in that moment, I really wanted to try and find an alternative way. Look for a more natural, gentle approach to solve this problem. And I also really started to believe in this philosophy of what is happening inside of your body comes out on the outside. So cannot look inside our body. So it is going to be trial and error before you kind of discover what are your triggers, what are your sensitivities, etc. I want to stress that diagnosing skin conditions can be tricky. For example, when I was dealing with my acne, I started to develop this rash around my mouth, especially above on the top of my upper lip. And this rash was very particular. It looked very similar to acne. It were these tiny little bumps, but it was actually a skin rash called perioral dermatitis. Okay, I just shut the window a little bit because the lighting is not ideal. The sun is shining, so it's very bright, and then it gets very cloudy. So back to the perioral dermatitis. I waited months and months before I went to a doctor, and in the meantime I'd been putting on very kind of harsh anti-acne products on it, which only made it worse. And I went to see my dermatologist. He said that, you know, this is perioral dermatitis and you need a different treatment for this. So please, 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 if you want to treat your, you know, skin condition, make sure you first get it diagnosed properly. I feel like my cat is stealing the show a little bit, but that's okay. So now I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips. This is what you've been waiting for, that help me, you know, clear up my skin and that keeps my skin clear to this day. So tip number 1, simplicity is key. It is so important to keep, you know, mindset of less is more. Especially when you're dealing with skin conditions like acne and eczema, you just wanted to get rid of it ASAP. So what do we tend to do? We buy, you know, tons and tons of products at the same time to try to kind of speed up the whole process. And this will have the opposite effect. I have tried it many times. It just doesn't work. When you buy a new product or add a new product into your routine, do it one at a time. Don't buy a whole new routine and then, you know, after a few weeks, you don't know which product is the culprit and which products are actually working. Also really important to give the product some time to work. We tend to write off products when they don't do the job after a few days, but this is just not how skin works. You need to be patient. You need to give your skin, I would say, up to 30 days to see if a product is working for you or not. Of course, if your skin has an immediate reaction or allergic reaction to it, stop using the product. But in general, if you haven't seen the results yet, wait a little bit longer. It takes roughly 28 days for your skin cells to turn over. So this means that it might take some time to actually see the results of your product. Number 2 is be gentle. It is so important. Our skin is very intelligent. We should be supporting it. When I was dealing with severe acne, I thought that every step in my routine had to be acne targeted. But what ended up happening is that my routine was too harsh, too drying, had too many strong active ingredients. It just had the opposite effect. It damaged my skin barrier. When that is damaged, your skin has an even harder time repairing and getting rid of the problems. You want to be very careful with not only the amount of products you add to your routine, but also what type of products. Tip number 3, probiotics. Probiotics. I love them. It was such a big discovery and it helped my skin so much that I saw a dramatic improvement within a matter of weeks when I started to supplement with a good quality probiotic. There is actually a big connection between the gut and our skin. And probiotics are the good bacteria that help promote a healthy gut flora, which is so important, not just for your body, but also for your skin. I think I had this disimbalance in my gut because I was on so many antibiotics over the years, which, help get rid of all the bad bacteria in your system, but they also flush out some of the good bacteria. You know, supplementing with a probiotic supplement, you can kind of bring back all those healthy bacteria that your body needs in order to thrive. I do think that everybody is so unique in their needs that I suggest either speaking with a dietitian or a nutritionist to kind of discover what is best for you. It's also important that you buy a high quality strain of probiotics, because not every strain or not every brand will deliver the right results. So some brands that I like are Renew Life, Alflorex, Cetoplan, but I can also make another video about all the kind of supplements and brands that I like. Tip number 4 is analyze your diet. Again, I am a big believer that what is happening inside of your body can show up on the outside, and looking at this from a 360-degree point of view and holistic point of view, I really was able to discover which foods were triggering and how to kind of eat a balanced diet that would agree with my skin as well. I'm not going to go into much depth about what I eat, what my triggers are. I think that is a separate video on its own. But I will say that limiting my dairy intake really helped. Also helped with my bloating and therefore my gut health as well. Tip number 5 is find yourself a good facialist. When you're dealing with stubborn acne that just won't go away, seek out treatment from an esthetician, because not only do these people work with similar skin like you day in and day out and can give you a lot of beneficial tips and tricks, it can also really help your skin. Those were my top 5 tips. I hope they were helpful. I didn't go into too much detail because I really wanted to keep it short and sweet and easy to understand. But if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I also wrote a full blog post on my acne journey and all the tips and tricks on my website where I sell my skincare brand. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully see you soon.